Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, I'm joined by Kat and Seb. Today, as you've seen in the thumbnail and description, we're talking about Wicked. Part 1, which I didn't know until the end of the movie.
Neither did I. Anyways.
I agree.
No, I mean,
agree. I've never been so swerved by a movie twilighting itself.
They showed it at the start of the movie though, like in that old school font. It said part 1, and I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?"
Yeah.
I don't know. They could have marketed it more. I mean,
It wasn't in the fucking poster.
Yeah, they could have marketed it better that it was just part 1. Because like, as someone who's seen the whole, I mean, we'll get to it, but like, I was able to watch the play. The two of you guys has just seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
So there are some things I can't talk about. Anyways.
But yeah, you mentioned like singing the play. So before we get started, how did you guys get exposed to Wicked? Because my story is very short.
Okay, mine was in high school. We had to do, it was like for a music class, we had to pick a musical to perform. And my section, well, you know, I studied in a very conservative school. We wanted to do Legally Blonde, but like just the first song from that musical is like superficial and does not, you know, not what we want to promote, blah blah. So we're like, okay, someone suggested Wicked. We're like, what's Wicked? They tell us the story, and we're like, oh, yes. So yeah, we did like 3 songs. We did the costumes, the props, the sets. And I was hooked. Honestly, if it wasn't for that subject / Wicked, I wouldn't have pursued theater in college. I wasn't acting people of the internet. I just did the sets and the props and the costumes. Like,
So you did everything but the acting. Like,
yeah, I stayed behind the scenes unless I was wearing all black and moving the sets around.
you know what? Leave it to Ina to blunt. Like, I'm a theater kid, but like I just, you know, I only did everything but the acting. Like, I was behind literally everything in the play, except for the parts that you see. Like,
Yeah.
leave it to her to downplay that job. Like, leave it to her
No,
to make
I
it like I just did that.
No, like just in case people think, oh, you know, those theater sing. It's like, no. No, but yeah, that's how I got introduced to Wicked, and then, you know, they came twice here in the Philippines, so I got to watch twice, or at least one. I think I watched one, just to be sure. But they have come here before, and I watched it. It was great. How about you guys?
Seb?
Dude, she said you guys, so I was like waiting for you.
Oh,
Glee. I'm just kidding. I never watched Glee. I hate Glee. I wasn't really exposed to it. I have a girlfriend who kind of took theater in college. You know, not the acting stuff, but like, you know, just this making of the sets. Yeah, she knows Wicked, and I know of Defying Gravity. I'm not completely sure how. It's just one of those songs that at some point in time was everywhere, and I was aware that it was everywhere. So I knew of the song Defying Gravity, and I knew of a play where Elphaba was in an asshole. Right around the time where they were making movies about Disney villains that turned out to not be assholes. So right around the time like Maleficent was coming out, people were going like, "Oh, Disney's just doing another Wicked." So yeah, I knew of Wicked from people like comparing Maleficent to it, and yeah, the
I can see that.
viralness of Defying Gravity. But besides that, I knew nothing about its plot. And the other reason I watched this movie is I don't agree with all of her decisions, but I stan Ariana Grande because that SNL episode is fucking phenomenal.
She's a great actress.
yeah.
if she pursued acting more than being a pop singer.
I honestly prefer her acting over being a singer, because like, you know, she's a one of a kind talent in terms of singing. But you know how like it's so rare for a woman like this to be as funny as she is.
Yeah.
Like, she's like a female Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll say I was exposed to this by Glee, and I'm not kidding. Yeah,
I hate you. I'm just kidding.
I can't blame you.
yeah. It came out like years ago, but like every time it came out, like most of my relatives are like theater nerds, so they would go crazy over it. So I'm like, oh, I guess it's a pretty popular song, not knowing like the background.
Whose
like-
version did you like more?
I
Leah
like
Michelle's or no?
this version, Cynthia's.
Chris Colfer.
Oh,
But Glee nga eh.
Glee. I think I just heard
Glee.
I think I just heard Leia
version?
Michelle's version.
Didn't they
okay.
duet it?
No, they had. I remember that episode. They were fighting on who would get the
The
solo.
spot. Oh, okay.
Yeah. so
I literally saw it in a YouTube short, so I was like, I thought they duetted it.
I think it was.
But yeah,
Yes.
like being surrounded by people who are into theater, like I would hear whispers of what Wicked was or how great Wicked was, but like for majority of my life, I've never been into musicals until like recently, maybe during the pandemic, like starting with I forgot the name of the Lin-Manuel Miranda play, not Hamilton. it was
The
like-
Hamilton?
Heights. In the Heights.
Yeah, that
In
movie
the
I
Heights
was
or
like-
Hamilton?
In the
It's
Heights.
in the Heights.
Yeah.
Okay.
saw that movie, I was like, maybe I am interested in musicals a bit. And like slowly but surely, like last year I got to see Hamilton live.
I
And I
don't-
was like, that's amazing.
What a way to start.
Yeah.
Dude, your first play's Hamilton? Your first musical's Hamilton?
And not
No, live,
first.
I mean. Live?
I would say live, but like it wasn't the first musical. Like
Oh, okay.
the very first musical I watched was like Phantom of the Opera years ago.
Okay.
And like Cats, but like Cats turned me off, so I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll take a break from musicals. But that was years ago.
Cats is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
It's an acquired taste for theater people.
Yeah, but like going into this movie, all I knew was that it was led by Ariana Grande and Cynthia, and I knew no one else who was in this. So like when I heard their voices or I saw them on screen, I was like, oh, it's Jeff Goldblum, or oh, it's Peter Dinklage as a goat. Okay, I never
Dude,
knew.
we didn't know.
Surprising.
We didn't know about Peter Dinklage until the credits. Like,
I mean, it was obviously him, but like, it's like, no way.
Yeah,
No way. Wait for the credits. Wait!
yeah, I had a growing suspicion. I was like, you really sound like Peter Dinklage, but I
Yeah.
don't want to jump to conclusions. But like I do like how much effort they put into this. Like me not being like a theater nerd or like getting
Yeah.
used to like watching musicals.
Uh-huh.
I do like the production design, like especially the
Dude.
practical effects.
It's so fucking sorry. Yeah, we're allowed to curse. It's GND. It's so practical. Like all their sets, even the flowers in the yellow brick road, they're all real. They planted 9 million tulips for that yellow brick road scene in the start. All the buildings are actual buildings. Like they wanted it really, really immersive.
hold on. The scene that actually involved the yellow brick road and those 9 million tulips is like 5 minutes long. They
Yeah,
really, what the fuck?
yeah, but it's
Effort.
real.
Yeah,
What the fuck? Okay, that's
The-
a lot of love.
the
I
train-
I
appreciate
know.
that.
It was super a lot. It was a lot of love.
yeah. The train going to the Jade City was
That was
also
true.
real. Yeah,
Yeah, that was real. It was like 16 tons.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say from like being a visual masterpiece, like this is pretty good. It's up there. Like the
Super good.
cinematography is pretty great as well. Like towards the end, even, and like going into the characters, like I literally just know the Wizard of Oz. Like I've seen the movie like decades ago, so I didn't know this
Yeah.
was like a prequel.
What do you mean you only know about the Wizard of Oz?
Like that in terms of
Like
story?
the character? Oh, okay.
And there's
The
a
movie.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they pan across and you see like Dorothy and her companions, I'm like, oh, I recognize those. I remember them
Yeah.
from years ago.
Yeah, because the Wicked, the movie starts at when Dorothy is gonna go home already.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, she's on the way to the wizard.
Yeah. Who sends her home. But I'm sorry.
No, go.
But yeah, you did mention that Ariana Grande's acting was quite impressive, and I was blown away by that too. I was like, I didn't know she could act as well. I have only seen her in clips in like her Nickelodeon shows, but like you can only do so much in those. Cynthia I knew was a great actress from other movies she's been in, and I knew she could sing pretty
Yeah.
well. So I was
Yeah.
curious to see how their chemistry would be, and I am definitely surprised because I didn't know how they would work together, and they work pretty well together. I would say I can't wait to see what they do in the future with part 2.
Even in like interviews, they both compliment each other, saying that their voices really work well together. Like, I mean, yes, they're professional, they're really talented, but I guess there is just an extra quality of like having the voices really harmonize
Yeah,
in more than one aspect. I mean, the other cast members are pretty great. Like Jonathan Bailey, Seb and I know because of Bridgerton, but he never really got to show his singing chops. So I was really excited to see him here as Fiero. Like, leave it to Jonathan Bailey to typecast himself as a man with a horse who bumps into a potential
woman of
love
color.
interest. A woman of color.
A woman of color.
A woman of color.
He's captured the weirdest niche.
Yeah,
He's a straight white man of privilege who's weirdly enough in real life not straight.
yeah, it's like Neil Patrick Harris, but
Yes. Who falls madly in love with a woman of color who does not like him.
yeah. And they meet in the woods.
It's such a weird niche.
is that
He's done
thing in
this
Bridgerton?
Yes.
Yeah.
I now have 2 nickels for every time he's done this.
Yeah.
You know what's
Oh.
even funnier? That's the same horse from Bridgerton.
Yeah,
Really?
that was cute.
Huh.
Like when they brought the horse to set for Wicked, he's like, "Hang on, I know this horse. I fuck with this horse. He's my friend from Bridgerton." So cute. I love Jonathan Bailey. I mean, everyone in the cast. I've never heard of Marissa Bode, the Nessa. I mean, Michelle Yeoh is great. I'm sorry, Ethan Slater. I just with all the with all the things around. I don't know. I guess I've been biased against him.
No.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I just know him, like, okay, he's SpongeBob, sure. he can sing.
Yeah.
On board with you on certain things. I am surely on board with you when it comes to the personal issues.
Yes.
But I also am not too clear on what's happening with that. Like,
Yeah.
we don't really know their lives. Like, one of
Yeah,
the
we
reasons
don't.
I love Ari so much is, you know how, like, we know how Ari presents herself in real life.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
know that this woman has changed skin color, resting voice pitch, and basically everything about her persona. We know that a real Ariana Grande exists, but we can't for sure know what that looks like.
That's true.
And when it comes to whatever personal shit is going on, it's like, I think it's just healthy for all of us to not form some kind of parasocial relationship and assumptions on these people personally.
Yeah, that's true.
What I do agree on, though, further with Broadway SpongeBob's role in this, that I really did not like, is I saw the original design for this character. Right?
Yeah.
Why does he look like that in this movie?
I don't know.
That's not how this character looks like. Why'd they get rid of his hat?
I know. The hat felt like a very iconic thing.
And how's he somehow more ginger in this movie? He's like gingerer. His hair looks like it's made of copper. He looks
Yeah.
like what happens when your chargers start giving up.
I, I
Speaking
don't know,
of
man.
people with ongoing issues, like when they were talking about the wizard, I was like, I had a fear in the back of my head. I was like, I really hope they didn't bring back James Franco to be the wizard, because that'd be weird.
Right, it was James Franco.
Yeah,
I mean,
James Franco's been the wizard, but in what
Jeff Goldblum's
context?
great.
he was in Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oz! Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was called. I was like, yeah, they've done Wicked before. It's just not called Wicked.
Yeah, with
Like, it's
Mila
roughly
Kunis.
Wicked.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Mila Kunis is a whole different bag of worms too. Jesus Christ.
yeah. But I think I miss, like, I think I went to the bathroom to go before Michelle Yeoh started singing. It's like when I came back and like the movie was done, everybody was like, "Oh, she's the Pierce Brosnan of this movie." I was like, "Oh, I must have missed something." Jesus.
Brosnan?
Who? She was who?
You know how Pierce Brosnan couldn't sing in Mamma Mia? Like Russell Crowe couldn't sing in.
I was expecting you to say she was the Russell Crowe.
Oh.
But you went Pierce Brosnan. I was like, no, man. I think Russell Crowe were the ones who fumbled the singing in the musical.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Pierce Brosnan, but yeah.
I think Michelle did okay. I mean, in terms of what she needed to do for the role that she was casted in, she was a great Madame Morrible for
Yeah.
me.
She acted the part well, but she didn't sing the part well. Like, objectively, she didn't sing the part well. But she didn't have that many parts to sing to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how to feel as to whether she really did a bad job or not, and also to the duration and the amount of singing that she did. It's not enough to like shit on her.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
her one song wasn't great, but how much is one song composed to not be that complicated?
Yeah.
As compared to Javert sounding exactly the same during every single one of the songs he was singing. Like, her part did not contain that much of a requirement for her to use the singing voice. You know, to the point that it would like be detrimental to the movie. So
Yeah.
I think if they really wanted to keep Michelle Yeoh, despite the fact that her singing was not exactly top tier, they had the movie work around that in a way where it wouldn't bother the audience. But anyone who's really looking out for those parts of like Wicked as a musical sing everything, or sing most things, then it's noticeable. They may have made this movie more dialogue heavy than the play because of the presence of Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, I know. I mean, I feel like they make up for it with the fact that Cynthia, Ariana, and I think Jonathan Bailey are they're part of the cast that sang live. Like what we're hearing is how they sang it in the set.
Okay.
They all sang live, right? Like every one of the songs.
As far as well, at least I'm very sure of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, and I think also Jonathan Bailey. The others, not really sure, but I wouldn't put it past them to have majority of it be live because they already rigged their sets so that everyone has like that. I'm not familiar with the musical equipment, but like they're post about it. Like they found the work around that. Even the special effects people, the people who will do the set changes, everyone had like a thing so that everything was controlled. So whatever they're hearing, the actors are hearing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't remember the exact details and what system, but they have talked about it before. Like if any, go.
I mean, I will say though, if they sang live, it was definitely edited in post.
Yeah.
Or like
Maybe
all of those. No, for sure it did. I'm not saying they're bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that humans sound a certain way in motion. And pitch sounds a certain way live. And definitely those things were wiped away in post.
Yeah.
That's why even if you compare it to, let's say, Les Mis, which was a similar situation where everyone sang live, Les Mis actually sounded more live than Wicked, but then that's where Wicked's smarter, because just because people sing live doesn't mean it's gonna fucking work.
Yeah.
And that's where Les Mis actually failed. Like, they were so desperate to translate one medium to another that they ended up doing something that doesn't work for movies. And I think cinematography-wise and approach-wise, like, this is something that what's the director's name again? Sorry.
John Chu?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that John Chu did for In the Heights.
Yeah.
That he was able to properly accomplish here, because sometimes it's not about authenticity for authenticity's sake. It's about translating one medium to another and making it work, while also being able to translate to the audience something that the first audience, being the play audience, felt that makes sense to this now new audience. Because I have always kind of compared theater to controller versus mouse and keyboard. There's a certain dimensionality that plays in a play, where like a play is often like viewed parallel, and the sets can only be viewed so far this way, because the size of a set is finite. So the plane of view for an audience member is only so limited. So there's, the first thing, the suspension of disbelief that every audience member in a play by default has, and they get to expand within their own mind the things that the stage limits for them. In a movie, that's not the case. In a movie, you have now expanded the potential for the frame. The frame looks very specific in a play, not as much in a movie. So now it's the movie's job to expand that, where the moviegoer doesn't have to suspend their disbelief and doesn't have to limit their field of view from what the play can give you to now what the movie's capable of showing. And that's where Les Mis failed, where this movie didn't. The set design was as genius as it was, because they know how to translate what only works in theater, the movies, in a way where it's not telling the movie audience to now view it like you're viewing a play. Because that's where that fails. But I think Wicked had their own problems that had nothing to do with anything I saw visually.
Okay.
It had issues somewhere else, I think.
Okay. But going back to Ariana and Cynthia's chemistry, I think one of the things that really stood out in my mind is the dance sequence in the ball when there was no music at first, and it was just all
Dance
sound.
Takes Your Life.
Yeah, I thought without using a lot of dialogue, they just were able to express themselves through dance, and I thought that was incredible. Like, it spoke a lot about their chemistry too. So I was just blown away by that, and to see their friendship grow as this movie went on, I was fully invested by them. So I think it did its job, like hooking someone like me to be invested in these characters and this story. And again, as I said before, I am interested to see where this goes next year, I guess.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
How about you, Seb?
I kind of liked how it looked in the play more. That specific scene?
After we watched the film, when we got home, because he had some questions that I couldn't properly explain. So what I did was I looked for a slime tutorial, on YouTube.
we have no choice. Like, just so we're clear, we don't support piracy. We just had no choice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, slime tutorial. Just to show Seb, like, this is how it felt. Because watching the movie, I guess me personally, that particular song felt different from how I watched it on the play and how I felt watching it in the movie. I slightly felt like the play felt more magical to me, but maybe it's in the editing. I'm not really sure. So I had to show Seb. Like this is why this was my favorite, one of my favorite songs in the first act. And then yeah, so like he can sort of see. And then from there we were like, ah, it is different. Like for one, in the musical, they don't really say like, oh, this is oh, the ball is like this. They said it was an illegal thing out of town, right? I don't
Ye-
fully remember.
Yeah.
They said something
Yeah,
like
they-
that.
They kind
the
of
play-
implied like it was like a footloose dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where they shouldn't be doing this, but they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, but in the play, it was it felt like it was just nearby. Like even the fact that it's supposed to be illegal, but the teacher goes there and no one gets in trouble.
Implied it to be like unsanctioned by the school. Then like
Yeah.
one of the top officials in the school arrives
Principal.
like to hand Ariana Grande a wand and not really
Yeah.
do anything about the party. So
Yeah.
like now are they just cool with it, or is she like
yeah.
one of the teachers who breaks rules?
Yeah, that those were some of the things in the movie that made me go, huh?
And also the specific scene that you're talking about, Enzo, the one where like they start doing the
start doing the
dance and like
dance.
yeah, I don't know why she started dancing. Like it didn't translate to me at first because the movie didn't frame it
In the
Oh.
in a
film.
way
yeah.
where it felt like she just accepted that she was made
Being
to
made
look like
fun
an
of.
idiot.
Yeah.
No, that was clear enough that she was being made fun of. She
Yeah.
just started dancing. I thought this was just something she did.
Yeah.
And she was waiting for everyone to go along with it. Like, I thought this is just how she danced. Like, that's how it translated to me. In the play, though, like, it translated well enough to me that she was like,
I'm already
owning,
here. Yeah.
yeah, owning her own humiliation. And then Ariana Grande joins in. It all looked really deliberate to me.
Oh.
Like why she was dancing, because it was framed in a way that felt deliberate. And the steps also felt like something she's done before. So to me it was like, oh, so she just dances weird, like it's another Wednesday from Netflix thing. Like that's what it was to me. So when the play showed me that this was her going like, oh, so Glinda fucked me over and is making me look like an idiot, might as well just own looking like an idiot. That then translate to me like that. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, everyone's making fun of me, let me do my dance. Like
Oh.
that's what it
That's
felt
how he
like.
interpreted. Yeah, that's how it felt to him. Because I just enjoyed the movie, but then when he was talking to me, like, how did you feel about it? Because I was excited because it's my favorite, one of my favorite songs. And then he tells me this, I was like, oh my god, I have to show you the scene on the play.
Dude, I genuinely felt like Alphabo was like, let me show you these sweet moves. Like,
Yeah, now that you mention it, I agree. She just starts dancing. I'm like, if that was me, I think I would be like, I'm gonna leave. Bye, guys. I'm
and
fucked over.
I thought Glinda joining her was like somewhat of a way of like, hey, respect her culture type of thing. Like, that's what it felt like. It felt like Glinda going like, how dare you not dance the way the green person dances? I will dance with the green person because I don't see color. Like, that's how it felt like to me. So when the play showed me that this is like her accepting her mean girl situation, I was like, oh, so that's what they were trying to do. Because it really felt like Ariana Grande, just like, yeah, exactly what I said. I don't want to repeat it again, but like, yeah, it's so different. It's so different when you see it in the play.
Interesting. Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I'm like, thinking it over, I'm like, huh. Damn.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like, people get really attached to this friendship. I'm sure, like, with context in the next movie, I'll get it. But I
Yeah.
currently don't get it. Because as much as it's realistic to me that a person who now has a new attachment in the form of Elphaba with Glinda is not a dick to Glinda, I mean to Elphaba, but is still a dick to everybody else. I'm not completely sure though why it was so sincere. Like there has been nothing to indicate that like Glinda had the softer, more sincere side in her. So when she became genuinely affectionate towards Elphaba, it felt weird because there was nothing to imply that she was capable of this. So when she was like this to Elphaba, I was like, okay, so you're nice to her because you're indebted to her for finding, you know, a way for you to get into the program she was trying to be a part of, right?
Yeah.
But doesn't this feel more transactional? Like, shouldn't she only be playing politics with her by this point? Because there's nothing to indicate that, like, she really feels different and changed by Elphaba's presence in her life. Because to everyone else, she's still the same Glinda.
Yeah.
So, it's still not translating to me how close they are and why they're so close.
Okay.
So, I was attached to the moments, not the things that encompass the entire movie. Like, the moments created by Cynthia and Ariana were so beautiful that some of them made me cry. Like, later on with Defying Gravity, and yes, the dance got me. I think the dance was the first thing to really get me. These moments in isolation are beautiful, but encompassed by the entire narrative and the pacing behind it felt inconsistent with what I've been shown. But like I said, the moments created, the ones where you have to hammer in these points, that's beautiful. But I feel like the whole narrative wasn't meshing smoothly enough, if that makes sense.
Did it feel rushed for you guys?
It
Kind
felt,
of.
yeah,
Kind of.
yeah. I feel like for such it's a long movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is
Yeah, it's 2 hours, 30 minutes.
Yeah, 40.
45,
Yeah.
give or take. Yeah.
yeah. Why does it feel like they could have simmered on a few things? Like, Glinda is implied in the story to be multidimensional, but not when in application. Except for those isolated moments of sincerity and vulnerability. Like, Glinda feels like a dick until she's looking at Elphaba
Yeah.
after the whole wand thing. And then when she's not looking at Elphaba, is a dick. So, like, how am I supposed to side with this? Like, it feels like she has a switch. Like, an Elphaba-sized switch in her brain that only allows her to be vulnerable and kind and multidimensional when she's staring at her green friend. Because, like, she's still a dick to the current Mr. Grande in real life. Like, she's still manipulative to him. She's still really shallow to Mr. Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Yarrow.
Yeah, sorry, this is new to me. I watched
I know.
it yesterday. So yeah, I feel like as a whole narrative, it is so inconsistent, and with such a long movie, felt really rushed. But you know, moments of genius, like moments of actual genius, mixed in with absolutely genius set design that I haven't seen since Barbie. Like, like those things are beautiful, and also a pretty flawless cast for the most part, with a few rocky decisions here and there, but you know, in isolation, such beautiful things. But as much as I want to side with the fact that this was absolutely great. Sorry, my parents are doing something. I don't know
It's
what
fine,
to do.
it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. I just felt like this smooth peanut butter felt chunky, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's still good.
felt-
Yeah.
it's still good, and I'd still recommend you watch it. But I I can't help but feel like a glass broke moments. Like, you know those How I Met Your Mother glass breaking moments? Where you realize something about a friend of yours that has been a pet peeve with you your whole life. Like, this is how I feel about this movie. I just wanted it to be more cohesive, and I wanted it to make more sense why point A got to point Z, but currently I'm still like, I don't know. Like, by the time we get to Defying Gravity, I'm still like, I don't know, I don't think you... Like, maybe it is just this instantaneous to you, but the things leading up to Defying Gravity still felt like... I don't know, she feels angrier
Yeah.
than I feel like she should have been.
Glinda or Elphaba?
Elphaba.
Elphaba.
Like, it feels like... Because Elphaba was so on top of things. Like,
Yeah.
she never felt victim, at least in the movie. If it's more so in the play, then sure. But in the movie, she felt like, yes, I'm green, fucking do something about it. Like, she was always on the offensive. That by the time we got to Defying Gravity, you know, it didn't feel like she was ever a victim. Except for the attempts to make her a victim. It never happened. But...
Ooh.
What?
No, I mean, it's interesting hearing your take on this, because, again, you guys are only exposed to the first half of Wicked.
Yeah.
I feel like there were several attempts to bring her down. Like, everyone around her wanted her to feel like shit. But besides, you know, how she was treated as a child, and of course those things are awful.
Mm-hmm.
You never see it again. You never see her put down again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least from her own perspective, it never felt like she was ever... you know, of course you don't see everything that affects a person, but she never translated as a person who felt that hurt or affected by anything. She kind of just seemed to roll her eyes at society itself. So I felt like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She Lisa Simpsoned her way through life, like towards the third act, and it just feels like a lot of these moments needed to feel a bit more earned because she didn't feel vulnerable to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Elphaba had to be posted up as so strong, because later she will be so strong, and she won't be treated right as the person who she is. But for you to get there, I think, or at least for me as an audience member to get there, I need to see Elphaba vulnerable first. I feel like she was already telling me who she was. Like, I never felt a moment of vulnerability or weakness from Elphaba. So I feel like it felt like Captain Marveling, where the protagonist was exactly the same throughout the whole movie, and and by the rules of a hero arc, like basic narrative storytelling as presented, you know, by whatever film school would tell you, or whatever writing class would tell you. Often the hero's arc requires some kind of change.
Yeah.
I view the world a certain way. Conflict happens. The price to pay this conflict is what ultimately changes me to the person that I am by the third act.
Yeah.
I felt like in this movie, Elphaba was the same person.
Not
the whole
even
time.
not even in the part where she was singing about Fierro in the I'm Not That Girl. That didn't show any vulnerability for you.
She felt that within herself, but Fierro didn't make her feel that way. I felt that a little bit with her. Yeah, in that song. But I guess it was also like the way she conducted herself in front of everybody as well. Like, I never saw it happen to anybody. She never seemed to open up this part of herself. And yeah, she's sure she felt this way about Fierro, but I think the reason why it's not selling to me is like I don't know why she likes Fierro. Like I don't completely get why she likes Fierro. It felt really rushed, and there was nothing to imply like a buildup of chemistry with Elphaba and Fierro, because like besides meeting when he arrives on the horse and the spark of chemistry there, and then him having a relationship with Glinda, like they don't talk in between this. So there's no further development of that tension.
Oh. Huh.
So by the time she starts liking him, it feels like but you know, mind you, this is valid because it happens. When a person who is not used to love experiences romantic feelings for the first time, they tend to move a little too quick, and if that's what it was, then okay. But as an audience member, I feel like the hand that the narrative should play for you is not like a tiny glimpse of this, nothing, and then there. And then the song about like I can't be this girl because I've never been this girl.
Yeah.
Like I needed to see more of Fierro and Elphaba's chemistry.
You will definitely see more of it, or you should see more of it by Act 2.
Wonderful. But I also
Yeah.
got the song in Act 1.
No, I mean, I'm just saying that they will be doing more they will have more interactions in Act 2, which is why, again, with the knowing that it was just a part 1, I was like, you have to wait for a year to cook?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that.
Which I totally get. But I'm also like judging by like I cannot judge the events of Act 1 but by what will happen in Act 2. As
No,
a
I know, I
person,
understand.
I lived by the Snyder Cut, you know, like I believed in a version of a thing that has yet to exist. So
Yeah. Same here.
I swore by that. I believed in it. I still do. It was great. If we're judging this movie, I can only judge it by the things that do exist right now.
Yep.
And because of what I saw, feels really rushed for a movie that's only half a movie.
Yeah. No.
And I'm so conflicted because it's so fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Like the last like few minutes from like when I got to the wizard's place to like define gravity, I was just like I don't know what to expect. Like as I said before, I didn't expect to see Jeff Goldblum. It's amazing that how whatever movie he's in, he plays the same
Jeff
character.
Goldblum.
Yeah. So like I was
And the same thing in the cinema.
Yeah. Like I was really expecting someone like I don't know, Ian McKellen to pop out since he's a wizard anyway already. But like when I saw Jeff Goldblum, I was like, well, this is unusual, but at the same time, I don't mind it. And like seeing defying gravity in context, I'm like, oh, now I get it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did love that. Jeff Goldblum is one of those people that like I know he's the rocking his career right now, like, you know, but the only difference being The Rock wears the same t-shirt and is the same person in every role. Jeff Goldblum at least knows how to change his clothes. I love Jeff Goldblum as the wizard just because I feel like someone in this position would be that ditzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the wizard is a fucking clueless ditz, and like, if I was a clueless wizard ditz, I would be going, you know, through life, because that's about as much difficulty as I go through in a day. So I did like Jeff Goldblum, but it's very much inserting someone you're familiar with vibe-wise into a role that could have been a lot of different people.
Yeah.
I don't know who else could have done this role in a way that would have mattered to me, but like, or like knowing that there's a Jeff Goldblum in this movie just lets you know the wizard's vibe in general.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, so he's the guy from Thor Ragnarok, because he's a bad guy here.
Yeah.
You know, so inconsequential, very inconsequential role. We got Jeff Goldblum. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, The Wizard of Oz is Jeff Goldblum. That's everything we need to know about this wizard.
Yeah.
He will not surprise us. He will not do anything exceptional. He'll just do Jeff Goldblum shit, and we're gonna kind of love him for it.
Yeah. I do love seeing the monkeys get their wings. Like, it's a very like a painful, uncomfortable situation for them. I'm like,
yep.
oh, that makes sense. To suddenly have
They're
wings.
slowly, yeah, they're slowly setting up the events that's going to happen in the Wizard of Oz. Like, for example, how they showed them creating the yellow brick road.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys caught it, but the significance of the little lion cub in the cage. I wouldn't consider this a spoiler, but like that's the same lion that will eventually become the cowardly lion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Spoiler!
So, the
For
spoiler.
a 50-year-old
I guess.
movie.
Yeah, spoiler for a 50-year-old movie story. But yeah, like, I mean, if you didn't realize it, it's like, oh, we have one of the characters. Why would they emphasize, oh, this lion is scary or scared? I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
when
so-
they entered Jade City, I was like looking for Easter eggs for the Wizard
Emerald
of Oz.
City or-
Yeah. Sorry, Emerald City.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah,
I was looking
Jade.
for
I mean, you were looking for.
a robot,
Oh,
like a
the reasons
scarecrow.
I'm laughing is irrelevant. So I'll tell you guys later. But like,
Okay.
yeah.
Like, I was looking for a scarecrow with like a revolver because in the original movie, the scarecrow had a magnum for some reason.
You had a gun?
Yeah, he had a gun. Like when the monkeys were attacking them, he like pulled out a magnum, and people back in the day were like, "All right, that's fine." People now are just like, "What the fuck? Why?"
Well, they'll slowly introduce the Scarecrow, the Tin Man. Who else am I missing? Scarecrow, Tin Man.
Lion.
Lion.
The lion's already a
Dorothy.
given.
Yeah.
Dorothy's not. Dorothy came from Kansas.
Yeah.
Everyone else was here in Oz.
No, but I'm saying this party was a party of 4.
Okay, yeah. So if in Act 2, you will find out who the characters are gonna be. What else?
Like, also when Idina Menzel popped up, like, again, I knew nothing, so when everybody else was freaking out, I was just like, oh, it's Idina Menzel. Why does she
And
have such a
Kristen
small
Chenoweth.
role?
If I
And, like,
remember correct.
I was
what?
told the significance, so I was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel were the original Elphaba and Galinda in the Broadway.
Yeah.
So that was a nice touch. The Grimmery song, if I am unless it's new, in the Broadway, I don't remember them having that song. So I think that was a new song for the movie. Like, I guess to just show the importance of the Grimmery, the book, and the significance of Oz.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember that cutaway during the song One Short Day. One Short Day is that song when they enter the Emerald City. Also, like, just for like a costume perspective, I am sad they don't wear the glasses.
The glasses.
Remember the Wizard of Oz? When you go to Emerald City, they're wearing like green shades.
Oh,
So
yeah.
no matter where you go, it's supposed to be green. That's why Elphaba's happy, not because the people are like, oh, green is the color we're used to every day. No, because if they were wearing the glasses, everyone looks green. So she
Yeah.
wouldn't look any different.
Yeah.
Which was that was my little pet peeve, like costuming wise. It's like, but.
Which leads to why I was laughing. Because she told me about this yesterday.
Yeah,
And
so
man,
sad.
did it translate to me differently.
Why?
Because when green goes on green, I immediately associate it with what happens with the green screen effect. If you're green, I thought she would just be a mouth and eyes.
Black dress. Her hair just floating.
I was like, dude, I finished her sentence for her and I've never felt more like an idiot. She was like, everyone wears green glasses there, so Alphaba, and I was like, would be invisible. And she's like,
No! Everyone would just be green!
That'd be so funny.
She just looked normal, and I was like, oh shit! I genuinely thought she'd be invisible because I thought of green screens. So I was like, no, I'm an idiot. This is terrible. I was like, we could get to the wizard without tripping security alarms or whatever because no one would see them.
and that would freak the citizens out. They'd be like, what the fuck is that? What?
Why is she just a mouth and eyes?
And hair.
We have those? Oh, I guess we have those. Alright.
Yeah, I mean, it also, like, this isn't the fault of the movie or anything. It just made me wonder all the more. Why couldn't they have just had Elphaba as a child brought to Emerald City? Like, I don't know. Like, I understand he's the mayor of Munchkin Land, but it's like, I mean, if you don't want your daughter to be questioned why she's green, just bring her to a city that's green.
You know what's even
just
more.
me.
You know what's even more mind blowing about her dad? He was like,
What?
"Oh no, my daughter's green." Then his daughter, just starts Jean Greying the room, right? And he's
Yeah.
like, "Put her away. She's still green." Like, he has the only daughter in existence who's ever like applied magic,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like did telekinesis shit,
Mm-hmm.
and he was still just focused on the green. Like that, if they weren't already loaded, which I'm sure they were, right?
Yeah.
That would have set them up for life to have that daughter. And she was like, I still hate her because green is not a color we usually have.
Yeah.
Like, why was... It felt so unrealistic how focused he was on her color.
I
Like,
mean,
she can float things.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was the shock that the mom cheated on him.
Yeah.
Her mom
that-
cheated on him.
Oh, sorry. Maybe that wasn't clear. So at the start of the story, right, the mom was dancing with someone like clearly taller than her. Like she was drinking all the green juice, and then when she gave birth, like he's the mayor of Munchkin Land. So Elphaba doesn't know who her father is.
Huh.
I don't know if that. Sorry, yeah, that probably didn't translate properly. But yes, so that's what happened. So when the mom got pregnant again, he was like, "I don't want a green baby." Drinks the poppy milk. Now the sister can't move. I mean, she's paralyzed. But yeah, that's why they made. I mean, because if the mom was just with the dad, and she was wala lang willy nilly, she's just drinking the green bottle, they would have just shown the dad. But no, they deliberately made this man mostly maybe like a sliver of his face and mostly the body of the guy at the start of the story. Like they really made it a point to be mysterious.
I feel stupid.
No, I mean it's your first time watching.
Huh.
That's why
I'm pretty attentive.
Did that translate to you, Enzo, or is this also like a shock to you?
It's a shock, but I'm thinking like, I don't know why. I'm thinking like, I could be 100% wrong, but I'm thinking like a twist would happen. Like, what if the wizard is her dad for some reason? Because he mentioned something. He's like, I know you want a father in the most Jeff Goldblum way possible. So I'm like, huh,
No, I know that you want a father.
yeah.
This is what I wanted. Act 2!
Wait. Can you remind me? Is Elphaba's mom a woman of color?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Not green,
Yeah, she
but
was.
like okay.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, no. I mean, yes.
And
She
her
had
dad's
that-
white, right?
Yeah, the dad
Yeah.
was white.
Okay.
I mean, it
We
made
did-
sense because Nessa is also
Yeah.
kin
That's
known
why.
as the mother.
No, that's why I was like, was I missing out? Like, because
I mean,
I know her sister's at least mixed.
I feel
So I
like
was
the
like-
mom had to fess up what she
I
did.
thought
It's like, wait,
I thought the reason Elphaba was green was because the mom was drinking the thing all the time.
yeah, but where did she get the thing from? She came it from the person she was fooling around with at the start.
I just thought they had that.
Yeah.
I just thought that
No.
was just the thing she bought.
No.
Oh, I didn't know it was given to her. I thought she was just.
I thought she was just into it, right?
Yeah. I was like, I guess they
God.
drink green stuff in the Land of Oz. Sure.
I swear to
Not
God,
necessarily.
I'm an attentive movie viewer, and this is a very important movie to you. I would have. I was trying to look for every detail I could grasp on.
And
No, no, it's
fuck?
okay.
I did not see the affair. I only saw a mom who had a thing for, like, I don't know, aloe vera or something. Like,
Aloe vera. Woo!
it came in a green bottle, alright? Aloe vera usually comes in green bottles.
I'm about to have a good time with aloe vera.
so smooth.
Just straight efficacent oil. Like, I did not. The affair did not translate at all.
Yeah,
I thought
same
she
here.
was. I thought she really just had a thing for aloe vera or whatever the drink was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that caused his daughter that caused her to become green, and that caused the dad to be so pissed at her. I thought that was it. But it makes more sense that she's a bastard.
Yeah.
Now I get the unreasonable rage because, like, she's not his. So I get where the rage is coming from now. Now it doesn't feel so random.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I really tried to pay attention to the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I mean, in the world of Oz, it is weird. Like, okay, she's green. Why would you connote her to evil when Emerald City is a place
That's true.
for them that they consider is a place of importance, a place of greatness? It is
Yeah.
green, so it's like, why would you say one is bad and the other, like, yeah.
Yeah. I do like the ending sequence with Defying Gravity. I can see it in context. I was like, oh, this is why everybody loves the song. And seeing Cynthia perform her heart out, I was like, damn, this woman can act and sing. Jesus Christ.
She is a powerhouse, like Cynthia.
Cynthia Erivo's insane. Like, the only time that I'll completely agree with Jonah Hill. Jesus did die for our Cynthias, because not only is she a phenomenal theater actor, because not everyone does the medium shift well.
Yeah.
She did it amazingly, because I thought that, like, she would have a problem, because, like, you know, the difference between stage acting and movie acting is the subtlety and the fact that you have to make that shift of not being too animated. She was, when she has to be subtle, she's subtle. Like, she's been doing this as if, you know, she's been on screen forever, which to my knowledge is not the case. But she played Elphaba on the silver screen in a way that, or rather the big screen, in a way that genuinely felt like it was coming from someone who is used to a camera. Like, used to having to act to a camera rather than to an audience. She's amazing. And on top of that, like, she's a generational Broadway talent. Like, she's not just, you know, she's not just a great Broadway talent. She's a generational Broadway talent. Like, people in Broadway will see her the way they see Lea Salonga, or the way they saw Lea Salonga in her during her time, or at least her initial rise.
Yeah.
And to have her work so well on screen, yeah, her Elphaba's great. Like, no question about it.
Yeah. Yeah, just seeing how it all ends up. Like, I also didn't know this was part one. I thought when it said part one at the beginning, I thought this was like a Snyder thing where it's like, oh, Act 2 is like the Age of Heroes, and like it just goes on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I thought they
that's-
would divide it into parts.
Yeah.
In the middle, yeah.
So I was like, well, what is part 2 then? And it ends with to be continued. I'm like, oh, part 1 is part 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
now I get it. But
No, yeah, In the play, though, Defying Gravity is the song ender for Act 1. So I kind of got it. But yeah, even I I agree with you. I thought when it popped out in the first part, said Wicked Part 1, I was like, ah, okay. And then when it ended, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
The musical's 2 hours. I mean, I guess, fine. Turning a play into a movie can make it longer because you have more establishing shots, more...
I will say though, I do believe that the movie-going audience does have enough basis to turn this into a class action lawsuit. No, because I googled it. Not once did these motherfuckers tell us it was a part 1.
Oh.
All
Yeah,
of the
it
advertising says it's Wicked.
It wasn't... Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Only in the movie house do we find out that it's a part 1.
Oh.
So, there's no... Maybe the trailers say so, but I didn't watch the trailers, so I won't base it off the trailers. But definitely in the posters, we were never told it was part 1.
They could have made it more clear. I don't know. A part of me wonders, did I miss out on certain promotional ads or
Yeah.
videos that they said na we'll be seeing Act 2? Because I guess most of the Wicked songs, apart from, let's say, the song called For Good, the other songs in Act 2 aren't what's normally advertised. Like, One Short Day, Defying Gravity, Popular, even Loathing. Those songs are usually the ones they promote. So, I guess even people who knew, the people who didn't know it was just part 1, you'd still think, oh yeah, it's the Wicked movie, like, in its whole show. But yeah, I guess it's still on us. Or, I mean,
Doesn't feel like it is, though.
yeah.
It really doesn't feel like it is. I think we were lied to.
Just like the wizard lying to everyone that he made the Grimmery. Yeah.
Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum, you got us again, you son of a bitch.
Damn.
Goldblum!
Bamboozled twice.
No, but like for real, like yeah, like it's quite something.
Yeah.
It really is.
Anything to add before we wrap this up?
Ariana Grande should do more movies,
Yes.
like a lot more movies.
Like you mentioned, she's like the Chris Hemsworth of this movie. I agree. Like that one scene when she's like in the room and she's like, "Can you move? I need some air." She just hangs her head out the window. I was like, "Huh, that's nice comedic timing." Or,
and
yeah.
she's so passionate.
Yeah.
Like there's something about seeing a theater kid letting her theater kid flag fly.
Yeah.
And
it's really
that's
cute.
what it felt like to see her in this movie. Like, I'm not necessarily saying I need to see Ariana Grande in Marvel or anything like that. I am saying, like, I really want to see the side of her more.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I was very happy Ariana was able to bring Bowen Yang from SNL to Wicked.
Yeah.
That was cute. It was so adorable. I was like, oh, I'm so happy for her. She had such a good time in SNL with him that she was like, yo, I want him to be part of the film.
Yeah. I
Also, oh yeah, go.
I was about to say, I do like this director's filmography. Like his breakout directorial debut was Crazy Rich Asians, and now he's doing Wicked and In the Heights. It's a pretty impressive first 3 movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to like kind of gush about Jonathan Bailey. Like me and Seb did get the ick when he was stepping on the books. But he was phenomenal as Fiero. It's
Yeah.
like don't assume I'm shallow. I am. It's
Yeah,
so funny.
I love that.
I mean, like, that was definitely hammered home by the fact that this man had a whole dance sequence where he Mateo Guidicelli an entire library full of books.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, but
You know, just taking a bunch of valuable things and treating them like that shit. Like,
yeah, I mean it was great. I really loved. I mean the parts where he was in, he killed it. I
Yeah.
mean, especially since we just, I mean, I guess me personally, I knew he could sing obviously he's an actor. He was in. He's a current. He's a recurring cast member in Bridgerton.
Okay.
But to actually see him perform, it was so great.
Yeah. Can't
Like,
wait. Can't wait to
I
see
can't
his
wait for
movie.
Act 2.
Can't wait to see his
Me
movie
too.
with Scarlett Johansson next year, which is Jurassic Park. Yay.
You and your dinosaurs.
Yeah. Just waiting to bring it up.
I've never seen a man do a better impression of a kettle whose pressure was released than when he got to bring up that Jonathan Bailey was gonna be in the next Jurassic Park thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of One Short Day, I mean that cameo with Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth.
Mhm.
Apparently other cast members made cameos there, like unoriginal Fierro, Michael McMurray Rose was also like the Wizomania narrator, the one telling the play.
Oh. Interesting.
The composer Stephen Schwartz of Wicked, he was like there as like the composer. Like he was the one who said the wizard will see you now.
Oh,
I don't
Okay.
know. They had cute cameos. I only found out like
I kept my eye out really adamantly because we have seen the NPR Tiny Desk of Wicked.
yeah.
See if have I seen these guys anywhere?
Yeah.
Please.
Please.
Yeah.
There was a lot of love for the play, evidently, in the movie.
Yeah. You can,
I was also surprised Peter Dinklage could sing.
yeah.
You've never seen the Space Pants skit
haven't.
on SNL.
No,
That doesn't
I
show
haven't.
that he can sing, but it just shows that he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. All right.
I'm so excited for you guys to see Act 2. Because like
Bless
it
you.
answers thank you, I am sick. But it does answer a lot of questions. There's so many things I want to mention, like certain lyrics. I mean, I guess if you guys have the time to watch it again or listen to the songs, some of the lyrics kind of foreshadow certain things for certain characters.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. That's all I'll say because I was like I'm always this close to telling Seb something. Like the lion was kind of like it's kind of there already, so
Yeah. I was thinking
everyone
like,
else I'm just like
what other significant lion is there in this land? If they, yeah.
okay, how about the fact that they always emphasize the Elphaba's mom's shoes given to Nessa Rose. What happens in The Wizard of Oz that's like very notable when it comes to shoes?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah. I just wonder if they'll ever do a play about Return to Oz. I don't know if you guys seen that movie, but it's pretty nightmare fuel. And it'd be pretty interesting if
I
they
don't
ever
know.
do a movie about that or a
There's-
play about that.
There's only one Wizard of Oz property that I want to see in the modern day, and that is The Wiz.
Yes!
I want to see The Wiz.
I too want to see The Wiz. But yeah, I mean, for me, that's most of the things I kind of want to say with regards to Wicked.
Alright.
I mean, yeah,
Alright.
it's great.
All that being said, what would you rate Wicked Part 1?
That's hard.
Yeah.
I will give it I'll say a safe 9. 8.5, 9 out of 10. I guess for me, I mean, okay, the cast was great. They did everything great. I think for me it was just more of like, I guess, the pacing and because I guess it's kind of like when you watch a YouTuber react to a song and then they keep pausing to give their notes. Like, no, listen to the song first and then react. Like, I guess that's how I felt while I was watching the movie. I was like, I really like this song, but there's so much shit. There were so many things in between that you kind of forget it's a part of the song. So, yeah, I was like, I mean, how they were able to do it in the movie, I can understand why that was the decisions they made. I guess I was just more. I'm still really very used to how it was in the play. Yeah, and -1 because like I guess it could be just me because I didn't know it was just the first part of Wicked. But I wanted the whole thing, which is why I'll give it like a -1. Yeah. Anyways, you guys.
Seb, would you like to go first?
I'm not sure I want to. You do yours first.
Yeah, you do yours.
I'll give tentative 8. I say tentative because this is part 1, so I need to see the whole thing. It's kind of like Dune part 1 and 2. I kind of need to see the complete story to be like, alright, I can give a solid score. But like, I do like what I saw here. Like, I do love the chemistry between Ariana and Cynthia. I do like the songs and like the production design. There's not really any musical number where I'm like, that was kind of weaker than the others. I enjoyed most of it. Again,
All of it, yeah.
I took a break when Michelle Yeoh was singing apparently, so I didn't really experience that. So maybe if I watch it again, I'll have a more solid score, I guess. But aside from that, for me saying this for Wicked for the first time, I say I had a really good time, and I'm glad for the movie's sake that it is doing bang at the box office. I think it's the highest grossing musical right now of all
You know what,
time.
as it should. As
Yeah.
it should. You know, maybe I might make my rating an 8. Like, like I want to give it high up because I really do like this musical, but I can't deny the fact that at least from the first watch through of this movie, I had moments where I'm surprised I didn't like it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I would say if this movie wasn't a part 1, if it just ended where it ended, I think I'd be like, alright, it's a open-ended ending.
No.
Sure, I'll accept that. But yeah, 8 out of 10 from me. I thoroughly enjoyed myself with this one.
Mm. You want to just say it's below 10, above 5?
I want you to know, Ina or Kat or whatever you choose to go by in this video, that I love you with every fiber of my being.
Mm.
This is a 7 to me.
That's
Because
fine.
I really want to give every category a 10, or like, I think the production design is
Production's
a straight
10. It's a straight 10.
I think the CG is straight out of Marvel's most mid efforts. It's alright, but I think it's a general time period thing with the CGI. I think the CGI is generally not great, but I haven't seen great CGI in forever. I think the acting was like a 9 at worst, or a 9.5 at worst.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pacing was strange to really bad. I thought that the way certain scenes translated, the movie did a poor job of for people who didn't know it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a case of an audience member failing the movie or the movie failing an audience member. So I don't know if I'm not the right person for how this movie told me things to play out. But I feel like I got the wrong message a lot. And I feel like certain things didn't translate to me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of a lot of things involving the way the narrative was presented to me and the way I think I was told to translate certain things, I was so confused for a good amount of it, and I want to love it because I did cry during the movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was for completely isolated moments. And if you were supposed to love a movie for every aspect of it, it's kind of like having a really good steak, but all the vegetables were raw.
Mm.
Oh.
I mean, this is completely valid, which is why I guess for some parts of this podcast, I was very quiet. Like, I understand that you guys are coming from a perspective where you don't know much about Wicked other than the mainstream songs and the details. I came watching the movie knowing what was gonna happen. So, certain things that won't make sense to you guys make sense to me because I already know what happens. Which is why I couldn't give it like a fair, I don't want to say a fair rating. It's like I know what happens. I'm just enjoying how it's being interpreted through a different form of media, which is film. So if this is how you guys felt, this is how your rating was, like that's totally fair. Like that was how it came off to you guys from the details that were provided, from how they interpreted the Wicked play script into film. Yeah, like honestly, very interesting take.
If the second, I'm also like adding this little detail just to make sure that the Wicked fan base doesn't try to tear me to shreds. But what are you really gonna do? I do reserve the right to change my rating of this movie when the second part comes out. But again, I'm working with what I have, and with what I was given. This is all I got for now. So, I guess we'll see you next year.
Yeah, we'll be back in a year.
Changes for me.
Yeah. Stay tuned for next year for part 2. But yeah, to the audience watching and to Kat and Seb, I'll extend the question to you. What other Broadway plays do you think can be adapted to a movie?
That hasn't come out yet?
Yeah, that hasn't come out yet.
Be More Chill might be fun. Right?
For sure.
Be More Chill would be fun.
For sure.
Because my brain was like, Legally Blonde, no. That was film and then musical. You guys should check out the musical of Legally Blonde. I feel like I like it more than the film. It's on YouTube. Yeah, Heather's is a film to musical. Yeah, I guess right now I can just say Be More Chill at the moment because a lot of them, some of them already have a film adaptation or was a film then a musical. Like Mean Girls. I was gonna say Mean Girls. I'm like, wait, no.
You also
Mean Girls
got the
came first.
musical version of it already. So.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's like I'm like thinking of musicals to film. Be More Chill would be great. You know, typical high school setting. You get a bit of futuristic aspects. It's very coming of age-esque. Pretty fun. How about you guys?
Be interesting to see Hamilton, just because I like that period of history. I find that interesting. I feel like that can also
turn into a movie.
Yeah.
Or I guess the other way around. Yeah. Okay.
I guess it can be also split into 2 parts because one half is about the American Revolution, the other half is about Hamilton's life post American Revolution. So it'd be interesting to see. So yeah, that's my answer for that.
I'm really trying to think of other ones.
I'm gonna drop a very time period specific bomb.
What?
I think in this day of age, I think we should see Rent.
Ooh. Isn't there a movie already for Rent?
Yeah, but like I think this
Like a remake?
specific period of time could use Rent specifically.
That'd be interesting to see.
It would be cute if they had Indina Menzel again.
I mean,
she was there too.
if they could find a way to bring her back, then sure. But I think this point in time, especially politically, could use Rent. I also think Legally Blonde was a lot better as a musical. Like I saw the movie and
and I showed him the musical.
Yeah, she like best utensil, but Reese Witherspoon, her movie was all right, but Legally Blonde the musical was fucking phenomenal.
I have to check this out then.
It's so
I'll
good,
send you the
dude.
link.
It's so good.
Yeah, MTV had like an actual recording of the play, so it's like not necessarily bootleg.
All right.
I don't know if this is really. I just want to see Hercules. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love Hercules. I think Hercules, like, as much as I don't support live action remakes, I don't really fucking like them. But I just love how well they incorporated gospel
Yeah.
into a movie about gods and demigods, and I love the romance between Meg and Herc. I love James Woods' Hades.
Hades.
Like, I get it, that's a completely inaccurate depiction of the gods. But I just love the music from that play, from that movie.
The Rolodex of like rumor mill is exciting and both worrying and both exciting because like I hear like Chris Pratt and Anna Kendrick or like Dua Lipa and Austin Butler and I'm like I don't know. I don't think I like most of the. There's a world where I love the idea of Chris Pratt as Hercules. I swear to you, there's a world where this is the best. Because most people remember Chris Pratt after Guardians of the Galaxy became the biggest thing, and he became the biggest thing, and he's no longer with Anna Faris and all of that shit. You guys know Chris Pratt with abs. I knew Chris Pratt as Andy from Parks and Rec. Oh yeah.
And God, would Andy from Parks and Rec be a great Hercules?
Yeah.
He would be so good. And an Aubrey Plaza type woman as Megara,
Yeah.
like, would be so great. He'd be so clueless and so awkward.
Yeah.
And she'd be so tragic and beautiful. Oh God, it would have been so good.
I just don't know if they can bring back James Woods because like his views are a lot controversial to say the least.
I mean, you know, James Woods could very much just be like Jeff Goldblum.
That's true.
It could be Jeff Goldblum, or you know, if you wanted to take some risks, just give us a bit of a spicy Disney. Why not give it to like Nicolas Cage? Can you imagine? Just like the most erratic fucking Hades.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. Key and Peele's Pain and Panic would be sick.
Oh shit. Yeah. That'd be
that's
pretty
funny.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Key and Peele's Pain and Panic. I don't know who else. A lot of people can play Zeus. Like a lot of people can play Zeus, I think.
Yeah. Anything other plays you want to mention before we wrap this up?
Not at the moment.
All right.
Well, for me, not at the moment.
All right. How about you, Seb?
I'm sure I'll come up with something, just not right now. So
Yeah.
for now, I'll say I'm good.
All right.
Why don't you guys leave it in the comments? What do you
Yeah.
think could be a musical that could become a film?
Yeah, please leave it down. But yeah, that's been our video on Wicked Part 1. If you like what you see here, please
Apparently.
yeah. Please
Wicked
leave a
Part
like.
1, apparently.
Apparently. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to ears on the go. Individual Zoda's voices on TikTok and Enswolf on Letterboxd. How about you guys? Where can they find you?
You can find me at Nekomanan on TikTok. I have yet to make my Blue Sky and Twitter final. But yeah.
Alright, it's a new thing. Right.
I know, yeah, Blue Sky is a new thing now. But yes, right now it's just Nekomanan on TikTok.
I'm Seb the Harmacist on Instagram, X, Threads. I don't have a Blue Sky. If you see me in public, step up or step away. That's about it. I guess you could also find me wherever the fuck she is on a weekend or whatever.
But yeah, we'll see you for the next video soon, but we'll see you for part 2 next year. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Oh my god, next year.
But yeah,
Yeah.
bye
see ya.
guys.
Part 2.